Everybody wants to try to make wine when they're in college, or beer or something like that. And I did try to make one bottle of wine when I was in college in the dormitories. It didn't work out very well. I ended up with raisins on the ceiling. My name is Benyamin Cantz, born and raised in Los Angeles. Came to Santa Cruz in 1966 as an undergraduate. When I finished college, I moved out where we are here to the Santa Cruz Mountains up in the hills, only about half an hour from the campus. And lo and behold, many, many, many years later, here I am growing grapes and making wine. People ask me if it's lonely up here, working by myself. I don't find it to be. I have a somewhat solitary personality. I started making wine in the Santa Cruz Mountains here, and while I was doing that, I was becoming more observant, and I wanted to make my own Kiddush wine. I wasn't on some kind of spiritual search. I had been a history major, and I was interested in the reality of the past for the Jewish people, and that there's a very poetical parallel in the imagery between raising grapes and making wine, and that imagery has to do with the elevation from the physical to the spiritual. So people very often ask, what makes wine kosher? In terms of the winemaking, there's almost no difference, because the technique of making wine is essentially identical. The spiritual side of the kosher winemaking is that the wine has to be made by a Sabbath-observant Jew. And this has been for thousands of years. This is not some new idea. It was just me. Since all the help that I can use has to be Sabbath-observant, and since there were no Sabbath-observant people in Santa Cruz at all for many years, I did all the work myself. I designed the system so that I could do everything. But the entire process of growing the vines, growing the grapes, making the wine, bottling the wine, and putting it on the table and saying Kiddush over it is my favorite part of the whole thing. There's no one element that I enjoy more than I enjoy the whole process from beginning to end. And for the purpose of saying Kiddush on Friday night, well, Kiddush is a commemoration of the whole of creation, and it's such a beautiful finale of sort of crowning God's creation with our participation.